is our planet.
Doctor, I'm stuck!
Have no doubt, Doctor.
Hello!
Hi there.
Hello! No, don't panic and certainly don't adjust your sets. You are watching Blue Peter.
Oh, yes, we borrowed this amazing little time machine. It's called a TARDIS. It's owned by Doctor Who.
And if you're wondering just who he is, you can find out more a little bit later.
You certainly can, but now using my trusty sonic screwdriver, I shall reveal what else is on today's show.
Oh,
No, we're up here.
no,
I know that
up
looks
here.
like Stuart down
No.
there, but we're up here.
Casey, I told you, don't bring your relations into the show
sorry.
every week. It's always the same.
Honestly, these two always
We liked ice hockey
squabbling.
though,
No,
didn't
we're
we?
not.
Yeah. And all the girls we filmed with. You go, girls! Brilliant
You were
sport.
great.
You
Go
can fall
on.
over. Don't get phoned.
Now then, back in the days before Star Wars and Star Trek, there was another groundbreaking sci-fi series called Doctor Who. It all started way back in 1963. Doctor Who is a Time Lord from the planet Gallifrey, and he appeared in 158 adventures on BBC TV from 1963 to 1989. Together with his companions, he travelled through time and space in a battered old spaceship called the TARDIS, short for Time and Relative Dimensions in Space.
The Doctor was over 700 years old and had the amazing ability to regenerate, change his appearance completely once he came to the end of each of his 12 lives.
His endless battle against evil pitted him against some of the universe's most fearsome monsters. And it was those monsters which really made Doctor Who a phenomenal success. And we've got some of Doctor Who's scariest opponents right here in the studio. Meet, first of all, Cyberman. They come from the planet Mondus, part human and part machine. They've programmed out all their emotions, which makes them one of the scariest monsters in the galaxy. I always wanted to do this. Very nice to meet you. Oh, no, that's as far as it goes. Thank you very much. Just step over this way, thank you. Just follow the line, thank you.
A touching moment. Now, the Zygons, on the other hand, could transform themselves into any shape they wanted, which is lucky, really, given their natural state isn't too pretty. I think you could do with a bit of spot cream or a bit of exfoliation, perhaps.
That's it. Follow, join the
There
end of
we
the
go,
queue
sir.
over there. Thank you very much. Next up, the Vok robot. They were designed to help humans in the far distant future. That was until a mad scientist altered their circuitry and turned them into rampaging killers. Just look at that face and look at those eyes as well. It's
Oh,
phenomenal.
I'd rather not, if you don't mind.
Exactly. Apparently you can't stare at these eyes too long, otherwise something really horrible happens. Just join the end of the queue,
Demon
thank you.
Headmaster eyes. Now, the Draconians were intelligent aliens who thought mankind were getting in the way of progress. They had a code of honour, rather like the Japanese samurai warriors, and they weren't really baddies, but I think you could be forgiven for taking fright if you bumped into one. You.
I'm sure I've seen him in the Blue Peter office before. No, maybe not. Anyway, join the end of the queue. OK, but best of all were the monsters which were faced by Doctor Who. The most horrific of those has to be the dreaded Daleks. Now, like the Cybermen, they were once, oh hello, they were once humanoids, but a terrible, keep that thing away from me, but a terrible war made them mutate and they had to conceal their horrific true form inside these metal casings. I was terrified of Daleks, I have to say, but they were actually led by the demented Davros. Here he is.
Although the series was last shown in 1989, Doctor Who lives on in videos and repeats on satellite TV, and you can even find him on the internet, where there are literally thousands of websites devoted just to him.
There certainly are the Daleks. They've gone now, I'm pleased to say. And here in the Blue Peter Cyber Cafe, we've got some Doctor Who fans who are logged on to some of these sites. Now, Michael down here is our youngest Doctor Who fan in the studio today. And Michael, you weren't even born when Doctor Who finished, so how did you get into it?
Well, it's all down to my dad, really. He recommended some books to me, and then I read some of those books from the school library.
And you got really into it?
Yeah, and
it's all Dad's fault. It's always Dad's fault, isn't it? So you're logged on here. Tell me a bit about this site you're on.
It's an interesting one.
Pick it up here, look. Tom Baker.
It's got a list of every single doctor.
All of them are on there, look. And so who of all the doctors, everyone's always got a favourite, haven't they? Who's your favourite doctor?
Oh, definitely Tom Baker.
Tom Baker with the scarf I was modelling earlier. Connie, everyone loves the scarf.
I say it's a good choice. We like Tom Baker. Now then, I'm with Leo Condy, who is part of a Doctor Who group which meets in Edinburgh. So what do you do at these meetings, Leo? I'm intrigued.
Well, we talk about Doctor Who and we have charity auctions and quiz nights, and we've also had guests from the programme come along.
Really? From the actual programme?
Yeah.
Wow, sounds like a lot of fun, a bit like a Doctor Who fan club. So what do you do to get involved in
Well,
these
I've helped
meetings?
with the organisation of them, and I've written some of the fanzine and...
Excellent. So you're a dedicated Doctor Who buff. I have to ask it, who's your favourite Doctor then?
My favourite Doctor has got to be Patrick Troughton.
Patrick
the
Troughton.
second Doctor.
One of the early ones. And why do you like him so much?
His stories are so magical and compelling.
Well, in the studio today, we've got bits and pieces from Doctor Who. Look, we've even got the dog K9 here. We've got monsters. But over in the TARDIS, we have got one of the stars of Doctor Who. We're very honoured to have her in the studio today. Although you're probably much more used to seeing her serving up a nice little bit of pasta and pizza in Albert Square. Come on in, Louise Jameson.
Hello.
Into the Blue Peter studio. Welcome to the show. Now, we all probably know you better as Rosa
Rosa
de
DiMarco,
EastEnders,
yeah.
but you were in Doctor Who. Now, you haven't got a very strange scarf, so you obviously weren't a doctor. What character did you play?
I played Leela. I was one of the assistants, and she came from the tribe of the Sever team, and she was very uneducated but highly intelligent.
Oh, let's have a look. Here she comes now, fierce and wild.
You have nothing, Mandra. No pride.
Oh, amazing costume as well. But why do you think Doctor Who is still so popular today?
Well, I think it's part and parcel of that hand down from generation to generation that you were talking about earlier. I do think parents have handed it on to their children. And it taps into the imagination in such a way that no other sci-fi programme does.
No, it is amazing. Now, over here, we've got Matthew and David. They're massive Doctor Who fans, and they've actually set up their own website. Now, first of all, I have to ask you, have you seen Louise in some of the Doctor Who series? Now, is it really weird for you to see her in the studio? She hasn't worn the leather, though, today.
No, not
Now, you've set up your own website here, David. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, we've got clips, we've got downloads of the clips as well, and we've got information on the actors, the characters, the stories, and we've got A to Z of planets, monsters, and things like that.
And you set this up yourself?
Yeah.
And do people kind of access your site?
Yeah.
People from America and Australia have sent us some story info, so that's helped us compile a separate section.
Wow, that's amazing. It's a hive of information. And which doctors would you two say are your favourites?
Tom Baker, yeah.
Tom Baker. Everyone likes Tom Baker. What about you, Louise?
Well, of course, it's all the same person, really, the Doctor. But I have to say,
course.
I do have a soft spot for Patrick Troughton.
Oh, another Patrick fan. Well, thank you, everybody, for coming in. But obviously, no one's listening to us now, Louise, and I just kind of wondered, big EastEnders fan, and could you tell me what's going to happen?
Absolutely nobody's listening.
No.
OK, I'll just tell you.
No, you're kidding! Stuart? No, I can't tell you!
Don't shout it across the studio, we'll be in big trouble. Now listen, if you're 15, don't shout it across the studio, we'll be in big trouble. Now listen, if you're 15 or under and you'd like to watch Doctor Who in action, then we've been friends now. Just got to let them know who's boss. It's a bit like Lucy.
Nearly at the end of the show, but I think there's just time for one more trip over here in the...
don't say
nearly
it.
told you. Come on, guys. Everyone from the studio can come. Apart from the monsters, not too keen on you.
Bye,
You can stay
monsters.
behind. Thank you very much. Louise, are we all going to fit in here, do you think?
Of course, don't you know anything?
In you go, in you go. And we'll leave our studio full of monsters. And, of course, I'll leave the unmentionable
big in
Daleks
here.
to tell you what's coming up on Friday's show. We'll see you Friday. We're going in. Ooh, don't leave me.
On Friday's Blue Peter, the Earthlings will be making jewelry for happening humanoids. Don't miss it or you will be exterminated. Exterminate! Exterminate! We are